friends. So I wanted to make a video to kind of go in depth because I had made a post on my TikTok and on here getting questions. So I want to kind of explain. I explained it in a little bit of my other, I'm sorry, y'all, my hair's wet. So I explained it in some of my other videos on here, a little bit on TikTok, that basically I trusted my son's dad to get my son and bring him back, which he did not. I will start by saying, one, I wrote things down, so if I'm looking down, that's why, so I stay on track. But I will start by saying the only thing I'm guilty of is wanting my son to have his dad in his life. I am not guilty of abandoning my son or leaving my son or forgetting about my son or not being a mom to my son before I start. So my son is 3 years old. He was born in April of 2022 in Ohio. I'm from Ohio. I was a resident of Las Vegas, Nevada. Prior to my son being born, I ended up leaving Nevada 8 months pregnant because my son's dad was harsh. He was hard. So I ended up leaving. I'm going to say the term lightly. I ended up leaving and took the Greyhound from Vegas to Ohio, 8 months pregnant. Got to Ohio, had my son. I had 2 people there with me when I had my son, and basically raised him. His dad did come later on, like a week or after, like 6 days to a week after he was born. Stayed for a couple days, but like doctor's appointments, all of that was all on me. The track record of me and his dad, which that's a whole nother backstory. I'll kind of get into that later, but our track record was, I'll just say for now, like a business arrangement. So yeah, I'll be vague about that. That'll be in another part, like 2 or 3. So yeah, so I came back, had my son, took care of him. His dad was, I did fly out to Vegas a few times to stay with his dad. Most times it did not end well. A lot of the times, and throughout my pregnancy, a lot of his other women would be causing mess. It was a lot of drama because he got me pregnant. We got pregnant. I guess I'll say that. We got pregnant. And there was a lot of other women. I wasn't aware of the intense factor of how many women there was until I was about 5 or 6 months pregnant. I was living in his home, and like I said, that's another story. He ended up going to jail, and that's how a lot of the women ended up reaching out to me. And then through me posting about things on my pregnancy, they were connecting dots. And y'all see my shirt? Oh God. Okay, let me go change my shirt. Hold up. Okay, I got a new shirt, but it's already getting wet, so I just pulled my hair up. So yeah, basically throughout me posting, they were connecting the dots. So then that would cause drama with me and him. So I was in Ohio living with my parents. Like I said, that's a whole nother story, so we'll get into that at a different time. In Ohio, living with my parents, and y'all see like my glare. I'm so sorry. I'll do that. Living with my parents and raising my son. I also had my other children that I was raising at my parents' house, coming from a life that I was very independent. I moved to Vegas, I was by myself. Coming back and being not independent. I'm not gonna just shame him. My kid's dad drove his car that he got me, didn't get me, I don't really know what you want to call it, but he drove his car from Vegas to Ohio, let me use that. So I wasn't on the bus. And let me tell y'all my Altima. It was an 03 Altima. It did not have door handles. It had air, but it didn't have heat. And I'm from Ohio where it gets like -5. So I'm with a 3-week-old in the wind. Well, no, not that early because he was born in April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So like a 7-month-old, -5. And I couldn't heat up my car. So it was rough, but I did it. And I did it. So fast forward, like I said, I ended up getting COVID again. So, because I got it twice with my pregnancy. I got it again after he was born. My kid's dad ended up taking me to Miami with my son. That was drama. I moved out my parents' house. It was cool. He would come in and visit every now and again. And it got to the point where he wanted to take my son. And so at one point I was kind of against it. It wasn't that I was against it. He was willing to come to Ohio, so I was like, whatever. And I know it seems like, wow, you just said a lot of stuff. Y'all, this story is crazy. I will break it down a little bit more, but I kind of want to get this overview out there. It's a crazy story. I make sure if you want to keep up with it, like I said, figure out how this all ends. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, let me know. So we went to Miami. That was drama. I went to his house for Christmas. That was drama. He tried to keep him, my son, who at that point was, when he tried to keep him at Christmas, my son was April, like 6 months. So it was just like continuously back and forth. But I was trying to make sure my son had his dad. And I knew, because I was dealing with the type of person I was, if I wouldn't ghost, he wouldn't do anything. So I needed to, it was, y'all, it's still hard, because it's like, do I block him completely and my son doesn't have that, or do I try to limit it but then potentially go through what I'm going through now? So basically, I ended up, he wasn't able to keep him at Christmas. First birthday party, he did not come. I ended up inviting one of his women, who I invited her to my son's birthday party in Ohio, by the way, because she started acting like she was cool with me. I try to be, I'm a nice person, so even with the baby daddy stuff, I try to be cool. Yo, my other two dads, I literally was in a poly with his now wife, with my baby daddy. Like, I am not the baby mom with the drama. I promise you, I'm not. Now, can I be with it? Yeah, but I try not to be. So she acted like she was cool. I'm not gonna mention any names. And long story short, she was just playing the fiddle. It is what it is. So the first time that he kidnapped, because I'm called kidnapping because that's what the charge was until we brought him back, was 2023. He was supposed to bring my son back. I started getting messages that he wasn't bringing him back, that basically I was not a good mom. His women are saying that I'm the reason my son is always sick, because my son, when he was first born, I swear, I don't know if it's just my boys, but my boys, they lungs, they both had it. And so, but I'm getting messages from his women saying that I'm not a good mom. And Kendall said he's, sorry I said the name, but he said he's never going to basically let me have my son back. And I'm like, what? Not the son that I done took care of by myself, pretty much. No way. And so I had to deal with that. I had to go file a police report. My son was on the missing children's list. The police was calling my son. The police in Vegas was going to every known location that I knew for him, to try to get my son back. He ended up bringing, my son's dad ended up bringing him back, dropping him off to my parents' son, who, fast forward down to November of 2023, my parents' son linked up with my son's father. And my parents' son and his wife did. And that caused chaos for almost a year in my life. 2024 was a year of chaos. The end of 2023, my brother came, fought me while holding my son, had to charge charges. His dad was doing all that, had to file police reports and do all that. It was just a mess. So, and I know I just rambled a lot, but back to this timeline, because it's just so much. So, fast forward to 2024, into 2024, April 2024, my son has a birthday party in Ohio, because that's where he lives. I invite his dad to the party. His dad comes. I pick his dad up from the airport because I'm just trying to keep the peace so my son has a good birthday. I take him to his hotel room. I take him to the party. So at that point, my boyfriend, he was coming to the party too, because he's been helping with my son since Kendall, his dad, has not been around. Or I'm not gonna say not been around, but he picks and chooses. Like, if me and him aren't, if I'm not doing what he wants from on my end, he's not helping with my son. So my boyfriend, he stepped up, right? I invite him to the party. He knows about the party. His family's invited to the party. I didn't tell his dad. I didn't feel the need that I needed to. He was not active enough for me. He did never give me the same courtesy of telling me anything. So I did not feel the need to do that. And I didn't feel like it was disrespectful either, because it wasn't like we had matching shirts and it said, it was nothing like that. So I drop off my boyfriend, my kids, and my friend at the time, my friend, to set up the party at the location. I go pick up Kendall when it's time his dad when it's time to get there. I introduce my boyfriend and him to each other, Kenji's dad, to each other. There's nothing. Literally, we're there for maybe 20, 30 minutes. That's when Kenji's dad's in my ear. Who is that? What does he do for my son? I said, he helps me with your son. Mind you, I've never questioned. He had women buying my son everything. And even when he took him before, I never questioned who my son was with. I don't do that. As long as my son is safe. My son was safe, so there was no need to question me. Like, don't do that. He's questioning me. I'm keeping it cool. We're in a children's facility. There's kids around. Next thing I know, my other 2 kids, their dad calls me and said, I heard there's going to be 3 words. Someone said that they're about to do at the party. What? I'm like, this is a kid's party. It was, follow along, Kenji's dad calling my parents' son and his wife, starting drama. And then they still called my other 2 kids' dad and got back to me. Drama, right? At a kid's party. So now I'm trying to be like, it's not that. He don't even have that. He can't travel with it. He's not even legally allowed to carry it. Like, it's not that. So I'm trying to calm him down. It was just a mess. He was supposed to take my son after that party. I ended up seeing on social media that he was planning on keeping him again, which that would have been the second time. First, I already did the whole kidnapping and police report. I wasn't about to do it again. I went to the hotel where he was staying with my son. I called the police station where he was staying, and I got my son back. Obviously, that was an uproar. Oh my goodness, she don't want him to be a dad. It wasn't that. I had to protect my energy and my son because I wasn't about to go through that battle again. So fast forward, we ended up going to court, doing mediation, right? And we agreed on a schedule. His dad decided not to come back to finalize the mediation. So no. I'm sorry. We went to court. We get an order for him to take him again to Vegas, right? And the judge clearly says, take him, you bring him. If there's anything, I'm putting out a warrant. You're going to be held in contempt. Cool. She also assigned for us to go to mediation and get it all right. We did all of that. What ended up happening was his dad did not go to finalize. He didn't come to finalize it. So then that all basically went out the window. He did complete the picking him up and bringing him back that time, right? So that's what made me think, okay, maybe we're trying to change and be a little bit better. I was wrong. So he brings it back. Cool. So then the next time he was supposed to get him was in November. No, I'm sorry, December. November 4th. I'm sorry, November 4th. So he comes and gets him. We agree, I get him back in February. He's supposed to bring him back, correct? He keeps him Christmas, New Year's, everything is cool. February comes, I ended up getting a job. During this time, it's some days it's good, some days it's bad. I'm talking to my son, but I'm not tripping. Because in my head, I don't think that he's gonna do the same thing. She's not going